Okay, now we would learn specialized process models. So what is this specialized process models? Means which process models will give some new features apart from the conventional models. So such kind of models are called a special process models. Okay, which process models have some special features, okay, beyond the conventional process models. Conventional process model or classical process model, which we were discussed in earlier sessions, which we were discussed in earlier sessions. So that kind of models are called special special process models here. So what are the specialities in special process models? Okay, how many types of special process models? Now we are going to discuss about that. Actually, there are three process models are there. First one is component based development model. This is the first one. Coming to second one, formal method model. Third one is aspect oriented software development. So these are the three special process models. So these three special models have special features. The first one is reusability feature. The first one, component based development model, has a reusability feature. That is one of the new feature. While executing the activities or while developing a project, there is a reusability thing is inserted into the component based development model. Clear? Coming to the second one, the formal method model. In this formal method model, here some mathematical functions will be, okay, I mean inserted or added to execute some kind of projects. For some projects execution, there is a need of some mathematical, okay, functions. For such kinds of functions, we are going to, okay, go for the formal method models. Coming to third one, aspect oriented software models. So which models has some purely based on aspect orientation, which means purpose based models will be available in the market. Okay, such kind of models, such kind of models are called aspect oriented software development models. If we will see the first one, what is the first one here? Component based model. Okay, let us see first one, first model, that is component based model. So what is a component based model? What is the advantages of this component based process model? How it will be executed? Now we are going to see about component based process model. First of all, what is a component here? Component Components are simple, self-contained piece of functionality that can be combined in any fashion to solve a problem or set of problems. So here components are simple and self-contained, and also these will perform some piece of functionality. These will perform some piece of functionality that can be combined in any fashion to solve a problem or set of problems. Okay, assume that component is one function unit. One function unit. By using this function unit, okay, we can execute the program, or we can solve a problem. Now we are going to, why are we going for software processes, which means software projects? Okay, to handle some real time problems. In such a case, we are going to develop some software projects. Okay, what is the need of software projects here? To address some real time problems which our human beings faced. Okay, to solve their problems, now we are developing software projects, isn't it? So while developing that software projects, if that is a big project, into that big project, a small piece of, okay, small piece of design or component is inserted into your project, okay, for some function, for some work, or for some function, then such kind of projects are called a component process based projects. Okay, this model, come see the second point. This model composes applications from pre-packaged software components. So what it will do, already some pre-packaged software things are available in market or available in systems. By using those pre-packaged things, we are going to develop a model. See the third point, reusing components that already exist. Okay, in this model, we are going to reuse the components which are already existed in the market. They each perform some function. Each component perform some function, and they can be combined in any number of ways to produce different resulting object. Okay, by combining these different components, okay, you can insert that component anywhere in our project. Okay, you can use that particular component with any function or any module, within the any module. You may use that particular component within module 1 or with module 2 or with module 3. Then you will get some results according to the project goal. Then we are going to use this method. Okay, clear? So first of all, what is component based process model here? Here we are going to insert the components into your project. We are going to insert the components into our project. So a component may be a code, or maybe a particular gadget or some supporting gadget which is used to develop your application, which is used to develop your software application. So those components are the reusable things or reusable coding in nature. It is a reusable one in nature. So by using these components, we can solve, okay, one problem or multiple number of problems of a project. We may insert that component to one place of your project or multiple places, okay, by combining with other functions. So such kind of projects or projects will follow this process model, component based process model. Clear? uh, If you'll see one example for a component process, I mean based process model. Okay, in real time, what you are going to. Okay, if you will, if you want to stitch some masks. Okay, nowadays everybody in the world are using a mask to protect themselves from corona, isn't it? So if we want to stitch such kind of masks, so what we will do there? So we need some what sewing machine, and also some cloth, and also after that, only if we have, and with some what thread, with these three we can stitch masks, isn't it? We need a sewing machine, and we need some thread, and if we have a cloth, some cloth, so by using these three we can stitch a mark, isn't it? But that marks, whenever we are going to, I mean hold that marks with our ears, directly we can stitch that one by using a cloth, isn't it? But instead of using cloth, most people are using there some elastic strips, isn't it? For if you will use that elastic strips, those are little bit adjustable, and that's why we are going to that elastic strips. So here the elastic strips are called the components. Okay, now we are going to develop a project is called stitching some masks. So masks are stitched by using cloth itself for holding that face face cover. Okay, and also that will be stitched by using even small elastics itself. So here the elastic is called one component to fulfill our project, to fulfill our project. So that elastic may be used for not only for masks, for many ways we are going to use that elastic in real time. Okay, we are going to use that elastic for stitching some dresses or some neck kind of things. Okay, so different purposes are there with that elastic, but we are using for stitching a mask here, isn't it? So that is one thing, one example. And if we are going to the second example, okay, uh, if we want to make one toy, if you want to make one toy, so the toy is almost getting ready. Okay, one robot, if you want to develop a robot in real life, so we are collecting all the parts of robo, and we have constructed overall that structure and overall that robo. If our robo is needed, okay, our robo is worked with batteries. Okay, the robo is worked or with batteries itself. Then what we will do? Now we are going to start or now we are going to plan to construct batteries now. No, we are going to use that batteries already available in market, already existing in market, and we are bringing that batteries and inserted into that robot toy, and automatically that robot is performed some actions, isn't it? So here the batteries are act as a component. Batteries are act as a component. Why? Because by using that batteries only, okay, our toy robo is working, isn't it? So that battery is a component, it is a simple, and it has some functionality, and it has some functionality. This is used to solve a problem of a robo, or it makes the, okay, robo acted, I mean robo is perform some actions, isn't it? So here batteries is called one of the component, and also batteries is used in our clocks itself. Our clocks, okay, regular, we are watching those clocks now. So clocks also needed this batteries. So it is a reusable component. What is this battery here? One reusable components. By inserting that batteries into some gadgets, that gadgets will perform actions or tasks whichever assigned. Okay, those for which purpose we are designed that particular gadgets, isn't it? So that is the component here. So batteries is one kind of component here. Okay, like that in our project also there is a need of some components. Okay, throughout the overall project, somewhere we need of some component. That component may be a battery. That component, if I are going to develop a, okay, project project, it's a combination of what hardware parts and software parts. It's a assume that you are going to develop a gadget. That gadget have some electronic components, and those electronic components will be worked based on the instructions of a software. So it's a embedded system, isn't it? So previous sessions, in earlier sessions, we are already discussed about a embedded systems itself. Embedded system in the sense, it is a combination of software and electronics. If the electronics should perform working, then that software, whichever you have inserted into that electronic goods, that should be supported, then it will be acted. Okay. So for example, okay, washing machine is one example, and some ovens is another example. So like that. Now you are going to develop one more gadget, one more embedded system. So in that system must need some electronic components itself, and also coding part itself. So your gadget must work, or it will be worked based on some batteries, means you are going to purchase and insert into your gadget, then okay, you will develop that one. Apart from that, instead of that, you are not going to, okay, make batteries. Again you are going to, okay, put a company to develop a batteries, like that. For small kind of batteries, you are going to work, you are going to develop that batteries itself. No, okay, it's not our work. Okay, if you are doing one project, means by using existing resources only we are going to develop. Okay, if existing resources are not available to develop that project, then we are going to, okay, make or construct or something, we are going to perform, and we are going to develop such kind of new things, and we are going to put efforts on that something new, but not already existing things. If you were put your efforts on existed things, okay, there is a waste of time, there is a waste of money, isn't it? Already some batteries manufacturing companies, there are batteries are available in market. Again you are going to develop new batteries. Okay, if it has big differences between old batteries and new batteries, then okay, it's a little bit useful thing. But if you are going to develop that batteries with existing features, already existing nature, means what is the use of developing the batteries here itself? Clear? So like that, here we are going to insert batteries into your gadget, whichever you are going to develop. Okay, and or otherwise if you will take some other example, Here the component in the sense some coding, electronic coding devices. Okay, if you will use that coding devices, okay, into your system, then your system will be worked, which means, okay, some parts of the process, some parts of the applications will be same for each and every application, for each and everything. In software web application, here we are having different web applications. Okay, if you want to develop new web application, that new web application may have the features of existing web application, may have the features of existing web application. So by taking okay, existing code itself, okay, they will develop the some additionals into that, then okay, they'll complete their project itself by adding new features to that particular project. Then they'll complete their project itself by taking already existing features, isn't it? So like that, which means what is the existing features means it's in the it is maybe a design, or it's maybe a coding. Okay, whichever project you are going to develop, that module 1, your project module 1 and already existing project module 1 both are same, means you are going to take that module 1 coding, okay, with permission, isn't it? That's it, you are not going to develop that module 1 coding again. Okay, if you will develop that one, it's a waste of your time. That's it, it's a waste of your time. So like that, here the component may be a physical equipment, or it may be a code, logical thing. Okay, so nowadays in market some coding components also available. If you will buy that coding components, then those components will support your project, okay, 50 percentage. The if you will develop the remaining 50 percentage based on the customer requirement, that's enough. So you will develop your project with a short span time, isn't it? So that's why here we are going to use the predefined coding gadgets, or some equipments, or some uh, or some whatever things, whatever which are available, okay, which is suited to our project. By taking the components into our project, so that project should follow, such kind of projects will follow component based process models. Clear? And coming to see the last point here, the component based development incorporates the many characteristics of spiral sorry many characteristics of spiral model, or it is a evolutionary in nature. Okay, why it will take the spiral model features and why we call it as evolutionary in nature means, if you see the diagram we will get clear picture. So evolutionary in nature means, if you want to develop something new, if you want to develop, or if you want to add new features to your existing code or existing thing, then that kind of uh, things or projects are called a evolutionary projects. So spiral model is prototype model, and spiral model both are the okay evolutionary projects in market now. So component based process model is also a one of the okay evolutionary process model in nature. Clear? And okay, see the diagram of this one, component based development model. First of all, have a look. Okay, this is the complete, this one is the complete spiral model diagram which you have seen, I mean, in yesterday's session or in today's session also, once we have briefed about this one. Okay, so this spiral model has 5 parts. What are those? First one is the customer communication, 5 activities. So first one is customer communication and risk estimation and scheduling, risk analysis part. And here, sorry, it has only 4 parts. The third one is modeling, analysis and design, and the last one is deployment and delivery feedback. Okay, this is about your spiral model. In this spiral model, okay, you are going to develop phase by phase, isn't it? So here communication phase, okay, risk analysis phase, modeling phase, and last we have deployment phase. So where this component based, okay, model or a model would occur means whenever you are going to develop, okay, so you are going to develop your project, then you are going to insert some components. You are going to insert some components. So how it is? If you see the diagram, this is the modeling part. In this modeling phase, you have analysis, design, construction, coding, and testing. These all the tasks are performed under the modeling. Assume, okay, in modeling phase, you are going to analysis that project and what are the needs, what are the requirements it needs, and how to execute that project. Like that, you are going to analyze the requirements which are needed by the developing project. After that, you are going to, okay, create a design for that project. Okay, we will, after gathering of the all the requirements of that project, then we should perform the design of that project. After designing, if designing is finished, then we are going to, okay, construction of a code. Then we are going to the next unit, that is the construction of a code for a developed design. So after that, last task is testing. Whichever the code is developed for that project, so that code should be tested whether it is working according to a, okay, customer requirements or not. Like that, we are going to test that project, isn't it? So this total phase has almost all the work of a project, almost total work of a project. So here, see, this phase is, okay, involved some one component structure. What it is actually? So initiating the components. What is the first one? See, the line is started at the first phase to here. So this phase has some initiation, identifying the components, identifying the components. Whether do we need any kind of components to develop our project or not. That is called identification of components. Okay, what is the next step? Okay, look up components in library. So this is the second phase. What is this phase has? Whether that components, whatever we are looking for, those are available in library. Okay, it's a system library or in an internet or somewhere else. If we are looking for that, okay. So if those are available, extract those components. That code is existing code is available, okay, in market. Then we are going to extract that coding. Okay, some sites are providing some free coding resources to develop the softwares. Okay, some online sites will provide some kinds of codes to the users with free of cost. Okay, some may provide that same codes by taking some amount, by taking some charge. Okay, so like that, if those are available for free or for paying some amount, then we are taking such kind of codes, okay, from existing system. After that, okay, build. So if there we are taking those components and directly we are inserting that components into the okay system. Otherwise, if you don't have such kind of things, such kind of reusable codes or reusable components, okay, then what we should do? Now we are going to build that components. So after building that components, so whenever we are going to build a component for your project, that component should be a reusable for some other projects. If you are going to build one component, okay, to your project, that component may be supported to some other projects itself, okay, like that you should build your component. Okay, after building the component, you are going to put that component into a library. That may be your project library or some online library, wherever. If you want to give that one, if you want to give that code with free of cost, you may put anywhere. Or otherwise, if that one will be a costable one, and if anybody wants that one, those must be take your permission, or those must be paid something for you. Like that, if you have thoughts, then you will keep in our personal library. Okay, after that, so perform the n number of iterations of that particular component or system. Okay, this is about insertion of a component into your developing project. If you want to develop a software project, that project may need a component. Okay, that component may be, okay, already available in market with free of cost. Okay, then you will take and use for your code. Or otherwise, if it is a paid one also, if you need that one, take it and use that one. But if it's not available in market itself, it's not available in market, means yourself you should develop one component. Okay, so then that component will be suited for any other projects, any other projects. So then that will be put into a open source coding, or otherwise you will maintain it when it is as a your personal component. Whoever wants to access that data or something, that code, they should buy from you or they should take the permission from you. So like that you will keep your component or code itself with you. Clear? This is about component based explanation. So got the clear idea why are we involved the spiral model here? So in spiral model, how we are performing the activities in a structure of spiral. So here also we are going to perform, or here we are going to execute our project, okay, by using spiral model itself. But while implementing the spiral model, here you are going to insert some component structures or some component data into your model, into your design. Okay, so that's why we have discussed a point. It's almost near to a spiral model. Clear? Coming to next slide. It has some advantages of component based model. So what is the first advantage of component based model? See the first advantage, component based model reduces the cost of development and maintenance. Cost of development and maintenance. So if that is already existed in the market, means we are bringing that one and use it into our project, then automatically, so development time will be reduced. So whenever the development time will be reduced, automatically cost is also reduced. Okay, and it's already existing means it expects less maintenance from our project. So this is the first importance of a component based model. It reduces the cost of development and maintenance. See the second point, it is reusable one. It is reusable code, okay, or otherwise reusable equipment, reusable things in nature. And coming to third one, it increases the reliability of the whole system via reuse. It has the nature of reusability. So it has the reusability nature, automatically it will be a reliable one, which means whenever we are going to purchase one component means it's already tested, it's already got fault if any kind of faults will be occur, it will be self I mean removing. It has the self removing technology. So that's why it will increase the reliability of your project. Okay, faults will occur less, errors will occur less in such kind of components. Clear? Why? Because it's a reusable one, no? So whoever developed that component code, okay, they were developed that one with quality, okay, with quality. And if any kind of errors or faults will occur, so it has self detecting and self removing the faults itself. So such kind of components only reusable ones. Otherwise, if one component will give frequently some faults or something, anyone can't use such kind of components things. Okay, so that's why it increases the reliability of a project. And already we have discussed this one. What is fourth point? It is easy to maintain and update implementation without affecting the rest of the system. If one place we have inserted one kind of components into our project, then if you want to change those also, it won't affect the system. For example, in our robot toy, we have inserted two batteries. If that the battery's life is over, okay, then we are going to insert new batteries. Okay, after inserting new batteries, it will give any kind of problems of that to the toy? No, it won't give. Toy robot, it won't give. Okay, clear? So if anything is component, okay, if we want to change that one or modify that one, so it won't affect the overall system, overall project. Okay, that's why maintaining and updation of this one is very easy in nature. Okay, even the software codes also, already we have used some existing codes means if you want to replace that code with some other code also, it will be accepted. Okay, it won't affect any other parts of the system or project, isn't it? Okay, nowadays in market or nowadays in WhatsApp, every 6 months, every 1 year, we are getting some updations. It will ask for update your WhatsApp. So if you will update that one, if any new features are there, it will show that new features are included into our WhatsApp. Okay, but it won't affect the already existing features. It won't affect the existing features itself. It will hold the existing features and also it will include the new features. It will add the new features to that particular WhatsApp app, isn't it? So that is called updation or maintenance of that apps. Clear? Next, coming to the next point, it modifies the complexity with the use of a component container and its services. So wherever we are feeling complex things, Okay, if something is developed that is very complex in nature, then we are going to use a service of these components. Coming to the last point, sorry, if the new compatible version are available, then it is easy to replace the existing version without any impact on the other components. We have discussed it's in fourth point itself. So this is about the component based process model. Clear? In this, we have discussed about only what is a component, definition of component, and definition of component, it's in the sense it is a small kind of a gadget or equipment, or it's a purely coding component. Okay, which holds a coding component. By using that, it will give some results. If you will take that one, it will give some results to a user. So such components are available in market. So if we want to use that components into our project, then we are going to use component based process model. This component, before going to this component based process model, first of all the activities should follow the spiral process model. So while working with a spiral process model, then we are going to, okay, add or include these component structures into that spiral model. That component structure has, okay, whether wherever we need such kind of component things, okay, that is already existing in market or not. If it is available, we will download that one, we will use into our project. If it is not available, if it is not available in market, then we are going to develop our itself, our own. Okay, if it is not available in market, then we are going to develop a component. Okay, that component should support other projects too. It will be useful for other softwares or other projects too. Like that, we are going to build some components. Okay, after building that components, you will keep that component data into your personal library related to your project, or otherwise you may give that code to, I mean, you may upload that code to online for free of cost. Okay, so like that, if you are going to include your component structure into your spiral model. Okay, later we have discussed about some advantages of that one. The main advantage of this component based model is reusability of the component. And also we are going to use the component means it's already existing one means we will save our development time cost, and also it is easy to maintain. Okay, so these are the different advantages of component based model. Okay, this is about